A response to your statement from Social Protection, member for Thika Town.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the member raised this question on 14th of October, 2024. And there were two questions which I'm going to give her the response, but I'm going also to summarize because the report is huge. She requested for two questions, Honorable Speaker, and the first one was a report on the status of disbursement of NGAAF balance for financial year 2022/2023 and 2023 to 2024 to Machakos County and the measure put in place to ensure timely disbursement to enable the continuation of the project approved by the funding. Honorable Speaker, in accordance with NGAAF Regulation 2016, the following is the process of applying for the NGAAF funds. Regulation 20, that the county committee shall, once in every year through the public notice in all the wards within the county, invite interested members of the public to submit project proposal for funding. And two, the county committee shall receive and review all project proposals and prepare a list of projects to recommend to the board for approval, to approve the project to be funded. And three, the county controller shall submit the list prepared under paragraph 2 to the chief executive officer, who shall submit them to the board for approval of the funding. Honorable Speaker, the chief executive officer is yet to formally receive the county requests for the project to be funded. As such, disbursement of the fund to the county cannot be immediately effected. Once the request is received, including the request for disbursement of the NGAAF balance for financial year 2023 to 2024 to the Machakos County, the fund will take necessary and procedural measures to ensure timely disbursement of the said fund to the county for implementation of the approved project. The balance as for now, Honorable Speaker, 2023 to 2024 is 14,062,000 to the Machakos County, was disbursed to the county on October 2023, will be disbursed, was disbursed to the county in October 2023 once it was formally requested. Honorable Speaker, for the question number 2, the member had asked action taken by NGAAF to immediately post Ms. Betty Kanyili Njoni, PFM number 21914-2127 as the fund county coordinator for Machakos County for an interrupted contract at least 1 year in order to ensure effective and seamless administration of the fund, including the timeline for posting. The National, Honorable Speaker, the National Government Affirmative Action Fund 2016, Regulation 16 provides that the function and composition of the county committee in each county to be, among other, the national government officer in charge of the county responsible for gender affairs or his or her nominee, and the county coordinator be ex-officio member, and the secretary to be the committee. The fund has been engaging county gender office on a need-be basis as a stopgap measure, mainly due to lack of approved human resource instrument and sufficient fund to cater for personal enrollment. The State Cooperation Advisory Committee, SCAC, noted that such an arrangement of deploying staff from the mainstream government to run the operation of the fund may be detrimental to the performance of the fund. In this regard, the SCAC advised that the fund of the process to be finalizing the development and approval of their human resource instrument, and subsequently commence the process of recruiting their own staff subject to availability of the budget. Honorable Speaker, I'll go to where they have advised. They have said it is against this background, advised by SCAC and the provision of the Public Service Commission Act, that the board in its 92 meeting on 13 September 2024 resolved to phase out the deployed gender officer from acting as county coordinator upon expiry of their respective contract and replace them with a substantive county coordinator to enable the gender office to undertake their critical role of oversight as per the NGAAF Regulation 2016. The fund has since deployed a substantive county coordinator, Mr. Mutua Murumba, who was the successful candidate with effect from November 4th, 2024. The officer has since reported and is currently clearing and handing over as per the prevailing human resource policy and procedure manual. I submit, Honorable Speaker. The Honorable member is here. I can give her the report herself.
Kamene, member for Machakos.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker. She has given the report. Thank you, Chair, for the report. But there are a few issues because there have been some changes. Let me say I appreciate the PS, Madam Anne, because she intervened on this issue of the coordinator. And Madam Betty, our contract has been renewed. The issue of funds. You cannot just give us a blanket figure of 14 million. I want full records of the county projects, the value addition, because all those have different votes. Ionini is talking about some 14 million. And our books are showing approved projects that have not, that the money is lying with GAF is 24 million. That's why we are insisting, we want to know where these funds are going and what is happening. We also have funds that have been carried forward. And because of the lack of the coordinator, we have a whopping close to 100 million that belongs to Machakos County. And we need to be reconciled. Let them give us a full report. What is the balance of the bursary funds, the civic education, and also the admin? Because those are funds that are lying at the headquarters because of lack of a coordinator. And I'm happy the PS has given us the gender officer. So I still need our figures and I still need to get the clear records. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Alice. I think those clarifications you can share with the member.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I can share with the members the problem that they had the Machakos County is because they did not have a coordinator, Honorable Speaker, but we have seen from 4th of this month, 4th November, now they have a new coordinator, Mr. Murumba. We are going now to look into the matter because he will be able now to coordinate the county, and we know how much money has not been dispersed for Machakos County. Thank you, Honorable. Sorry.
Yes, Joyce Kamene.
Speaker, I would like to correct again. There is nothing like a Mr. Mulumba. We have Betty Kagiri, who Madam PS intervened because she's the one who has been in that office, and her contract has been extended. We are working with her. We are comfortably working with her. So I don't understand where the Mr. Mulumba is coming in from. Thank you.
Yes, Russell, what's your point of order?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, listening to the Chair of Protection, I think she is very clear and she has laid the message bare. But also, I must thank the questionnaire there. But what the questionnaire has been saying, she is in contact with the Principal Secretary. So it means, in depth, she may have more information than what the chair is giving from the floor of the House. So for that reason, as opposed to really burdening the chair, this will be resolved much more easily, because the amount she is talking about of 100 million, that is actually money for that county for almost three financial years, or close to that. So for that reason, as opposed to just ping pong on the floor of the House, this matter can be taken up by the honorable member with the support of the chair, with the ministry, to give maybe fundamental perspective on the question that is being asked. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair of the committee, liaise with the member and then agree on those minor issues.
Thank you, Honorable.
Whether it's Murumba or whoever, it's neither here nor there.
Okay, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Nolfason Barongo Pomachoge Barabu. Response to your statement by Transport and Infrastructure. GK, you ready? Yes, I am. Barongo is here. Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to give a precise response to a request made by Honorable Nofason Obadiah Barongo, Member of Parliament for Machoge Barabu constituency. She was requested on 9th October this year. Honorable Speaker, in the statement, the Honorable Obadiah Barongo MP sought to establish, among other things, one, the status of upgrading of the road network in Bomachoge Borabu constituency to bitumen standards, and two, the timelines for the completion of the stored projects in the constituency. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport through the Clerk of the National Assembly on 13th this month, which I now wish to make. Honorable Speaker, on the status of upgrading of the road network, work in Bomachoge Barabu constituency to be into the roads project 217. Honorable Speaker, with regards to the timelines for the completion of the provisions due to exogenous factors, thus
And thank you, Chairman, for the response. And thank you, Chairman, for the response that you have given me. I would like to say that I'm not very happy with that response. And that is because of item number 6 and item number 7 on the response. I thank you because on item number 7, you have indicated that an incomplete box culvert disconnects along this road, rendering this road not motorable at all seasons. I wish to update you also that on item number 6, the existing box culvert has actually collapsed completely. And this has inconvenienced Mwananchi greatly because they are marooned away from essential services. Especially, Honorable Speaker, when it rains, it becomes very dangerous. Communities are prevented from accessing their homes completely. Chairman, I would like to notify you that the absence of these two box culverts on item number 6 and 7 on your statement is long overdue and is extremely urgent and needs to be dealt with.
GK, can you ensure that is done?
Honorable Speaker, I want to believe that the member appreciates the good work that has been done by the road agency KERA to push your expectations to above 80%, and the remaining percentage will be dealt with soonest as indicated in this response. I think you have only about 7 kilometers, and the box culverts you have mentioned are within that remaining section. So, Honorable Speaker, I once again submit my response.
Okay, thank you, Speaker. Yesterday we had a lot of questions towards the Cabinet Secretary for Road and Transport, but I needed to ask the Chair. Whenever the Cabinet Secretary for Roads comes here, you see many members wanted to ask questions, because the response that the department is giving, totally sometimes we feel as members, they are not substantially, they are not giving guarantee. Mr. Speaker, there's the last 2 financial year, and I want the Chair to confirm, the State Department has spent over 400 billion on roads. And the question that we are asking, there are roads that have been left, which were started or were in the program for the last 2 regime. But now you see the 400 billion, they have started new roads. And we wanted to understand what are the criteria. Because when we go to those offices, we take the proposal. Roads are very important. A road connects a country to a country, a county by a county, a constituency by a constituency. But you find one constituency in this republic, I don't want to mention, either because a member is a committee there, or other beneficiary can able to maneuver there. You find out that a road even is given to a church again as a church. Whereas we have areas in this country that there are no roads at all. So I want to ask the Chair, to ask the Chair through the Speaker, if possible, can we have a report on how you locate the roads, on how per constituency or per county, so that we don't have a certain area in this country doing more or benefiting or getting more allocation more than us because we don't know the criteria you are using.
Yes, GK.
Honorable Speaker, I do not know where the member has picked the figure 400 billion from. Looking at the budget that we passed 3 or so months ago, I did not see such a figure allocated to the Ministry for Roads. So that assertion is completely out of order in terms of figures.
Yes, Parashina.
I only said the last 2 financial years. Chair, don't run away. I know one constituency which has gotten 17 billion. And we can go Western or Nyanza or even Mombasa, and we find constituencies that have never even gotten 200 billion, not 200 million shilling. So don't take us round. You know the truth. The last financial year, 2022, 2023, 2023, 2024, a lot of money has been spent on roads.
Yes, Nyamai.
Well, Chair, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Well, I would like to just say that the Honorable Parashina has a point, Mr. Speaker. We would like to, with a lot of respect, ask the Chair for Roads that personally, I think there is a problem, Mr. Speaker. Because my own constituency, Kitui South, and Kitui County as a whole, got about 400 million. Kitui South has less.
Some of the honorable members. Honorable Speaker, that is one constituency which has 9 kilometers of tarmac in total. I'm talking about TISA in Kiswahili. And we are with members here who have 300 kilometers of tarmac, Honorable Speaker. In the same house. In the same house. Honorable Speaker, you will speak at your own time. I have also submitted requests in all ways, in all possible ways. Honorable Speaker, we even have signboards of distinguished leaders in this country opening roads in that constituency. Honorable Speaker, there is something seriously wrong.
Did you say this yesterday?
I did say yes.
You said this yesterday.
Honorable Speaker, I'm just joining the
what
members
I'll
who are
do-
saying there is a problem in the road sector. We need
Yes.
it needs to be looked into.
GK, can you tell the House?
Honorable Speaker, I know the CS was here yesterday to respond to issues raised by members, and he will be here in the next 2 weeks. He will be here to answer to all those questions. But I will insist that there is no 400 billion that has been allocated to the ministry, even in the last leave alone 2 years, even in the last three years. That figure is erroneous.
Members, so that we don't belabor the point, I assured you yesterday that in 2 weeks, the Minister, CS Chirchir, will be back here on the same issue of roads. So let's make progress. Hold your horses. I'll give you all the time when he comes. Let's go back to order number 6, and allow Honorable Mchomba to table a report. Order number 5, Honorable Mchomba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to lay the following paper.
Honorable Mchomba, the very least you can do is to apologize to the House for coming late, because I called you out twice.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to apologize for my absence in the morning, in the early afternoon, because I'm coming from my constituency. I had a forum. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the way I'm dressed, covered my head, because I had a forum with the women of Mothers Union.
The Speaker has no knowledge of knowing how you dress when you go to
So, Mr. Speaker, I am dressed like the Mothers Union because I had joined them for a very, very special meeting for the Mothers Union of the ACK Church in my constituency. And being one of them, I had to attend and I had to fellowship with them. My apologies for lateness, but I am here, Mr. Speaker, to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 13th November 2024. A report of the Constitution Implementation Oversight Committee on participation in the Parliamentary Intelligence Security Forum in Washington, D.C., United States of America, from 7th to 8th December 2023. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and once again, my sincere apologies.
Thank you, Honorable Mchomba. Honorable Mele Okukaunya has an issue on a statement that he says he requested to you and your committee. Go ahead, Honorable Kaunya.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, on the 16th of October, a response to a statement had requested through the Departmental Committee of Education chairperson was given. In the response to the statement, where they demanded to know why the equipment for Chamasiri TVC had not been delivered and when, the timelines when it would be delivered, the chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Education, Mr. Speaker, assured this House that this equipment will be delivered before 5th of November and that by 5th of November, delivery and commissioning will be complete, and therefore the students of Chamasiri TVC will now utilize this for practical learning. Mr. Speaker, I want to bring to your attention that as of today, that equipment, the delivery, and of course the commissioning has not been done. And Mr. Speaker, I seek for your intervention to be able to guide on what should happen. But Mr. Speaker, it appears that the CS for Education is taking the role of this House, which is the oversight role, very lightly. Because if a statement is read before the House indicating and confirming even the dates, and then it's not carried out. Mr. Speaker, I think the CS is taking this House for granted. And I would urge, Mr. Speaker, you give direction so that the chair of the departmental committee can be able to take the necessary action to have the equipment for Chamasiri TVC delivered and also explain really what is happening. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Meli, do you have...
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I don't have the answers at now, but you all know, Mr. Speaker, that chairs of committees do deliver information on behalf of the cabinet secretaries to this House. I will endeavor to really find out because it is going to be very bad.
Can you report back on Wednesday afternoon?
I can't report back, Mr. Speaker, because it is going to be very bad that we made a commitment that they shall be brought and be launched. I commit to report back on Wednesday.
Honorable Kaunya, the chair is directed to bring some information on Wednesday afternoon. Next order. Oh, sorry. Majority Leader statement of every Thursday. Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. This is the usual statement by the Majority Leader. I'm holding brief for him for today, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 12th November. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, the debate will also be undertaken on the following motions, should they not be concluded today. One is consideration of reports on financial statements of state corporations, Nyanza region, report on the alleged unfair trade practices by foreign investors in Kenya. That report on consideration of the audited accounts of specified state corporations, report of the extraordinary session of the 6th Pan-African Parliament, report on the performance audit reports on the provisions of services to persons with disabilities by the National Council for Persons with Disabilities, and finally, on that point, second report on consideration of the financial statement of state corporations, training colleges and institutions. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order number 42A, 5 and 6, 42A, 5 and 6, I wish to convey that the following cabinet secretaries are scheduled to appear before the House on the afternoon of Wednesday, 20th November 2024, to respond to questions as follows, Honorable Speaker. A, the Cabinet Secretary for Education will be responding to the following questions. Question by private notice number 016-2024 by the member for Kathiani, the Honorable Robert Mbui, CBS MP, regarding update on the status of preparedness by the Ministry to transition grade 8 learners to grade 9, including the number of classrooms constructed so far across the country. Question number 89 of 2024 by the member for Lamu West, the Honorable Stanley Mudama, MP, regarding consideration of qualified primary school teachers who have advanced and obtained degree certificates for teaching positions in junior secondary schools, commonly known as JSS, and secondary schools in Lamu West constituency by the Teacher Service Commission. Honorable Speaker, question number 3 will be question number 90, 2024, by the member for Westlands, the Honorable Timothy Wanyonyi, MP, regarding the rationale and policy behind the directive of transferring secondary school teachers in physics, chemistry, biology, and history to junior secondary schools. There is also question number 91, Honorable Speaker, of 2024, by the member for Kinango, the Honorable Gozi Rai, MP, regarding status on the delayed payment of pension to Mr. Salim Mdalu Ndegwa, who was a teacher at Nzovuni Primary School until his retirement on 30th June 2022. There is also question number 93 of 2024 by the member for Nairobi County, the Honorable Esther Passaris, MP, regarding status of implementing the House resolution on the standardization of uniforms across the country. Question number 94 of 2024 by the member for Chepalungu constituency, the Honorable Victor Koech, MP, regarding the criteria used to approve primary schools within rural areas to accommodate junior secondary schools, and the criteria used for approval of primary schools to host the JSS centers within urban centers. The question number 95, Honorable Speaker, of 2024, by the member for Chepalungu, also the member for Chepalungu again, the Honorable Victor Koech, MP, regarding the timelines in which the teachers under contract will be considered for recruitment under permanent and pensionable terms. There is question number 96 of 2024, of hardship allowance to technical vocational education and training, of hardship allowance to technical vocational education and training tutors in Yata constituency. Honorable Speaker. Question number 99 by the member for Kibwezi West, the Honorable Mwengi Mtuse, MP, regarding the donation of the 12,000 acres of land located at Kisayani, Kibwezi West constituency by the locals to the University of Nairobi in the year 1988 for the establishment of an institution of higher learning. Question number 100, Honorable Speaker, by the member for Suba South, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Karoli Omondi, MP, regarding details of the current deficit of teachers in both primary and secondary schools in Homa Bay County, Migori, Kisumu, Siaya, and Kakamega counties. Question number 147, Honorable Speaker, by the member for Nakuru County, the Honorable Liza Chelule, regarding the plans in place by the ministry in collaboration with the Ministry of Energy to subsidize the high cost of electricity in special needs schools. There is question number 148, Honorable Speaker, of 2024, by the member for Matayos, the Honorable Geoffrey Makoha, MP, regarding the number of special schools in the country, both for primary and secondary and ordinary schools, Honorable Speaker. There's also question number 149 by the member for Madare, the Honorable Anthony Oluoch, regarding the measures taken to create working strategies with county governments to ensure both early childhood education, development and primary schools have access to school meals, Honorable Speaker. The Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock, Honorable Speaker, will also be here that very timeline to respond to the following questions, Honorable Speaker. Question number 015 of 2024 by the member from Beera North, the Honorable Geoffrey Ruku, MP, regarding the status of the supply and distribution of subsidized fertilizers across the country in preparation for the planting season. Question number 27 of 2024 by the member for Machakos County, the Honorable Joyce Kamene, MP, regarding programs and policies the ministry has implemented to reduce importation of food to the country and ensure food self-sufficiency, in the country. Honorable Speaker, there is also the question number 101 of 2024 by the member from Beera North, the Honorable Geoffrey Ruku, regarding reasons why Pest Control Products Board, the PCPB, has permitted the use of Roundup in the country, yet the herbicide has been banned in the Americas and Europe due to its scientifically proven carcinogenic effects, Honorable Speaker. There is also question number 102 of 2024 by the member for Chepalungu constituency, the Honorable Victor Koech, MP, regarding specific measures being undertaken to ensure that dairy farmers in Chepalungu constituency receive competitive prices for their dairy products. There is question number 103 of 2020 by the member for Gishugu constituency, the Honorable Robert Gishimu, MP, regarding the decline in macadamia nut prices and measures aimed at boosting prices for profitability for farmers. There is finally on questions, Honorable Speaker, question number 146 of 2024 by the member for Uasin Gishu County, the Honorable Gladys Bose Sholei, MGH, MP, regarding status of implementation of the recommendation of the National Assembly with regards to public petition number 70 of 2019, Honorable Speaker, on withdrawal of harmful chemical pesticides in the Kenyan market, Honorable Speaker. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee will again reconvene on Tuesday, 19th November 2024, to schedule business for the rest of that week. I now wish to lay this statement, Honorable Speaker, on the table of the House. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Majority Whip. Next order. We are done with the statements. We go to order number 8.
Order number 8, the Cooperatives Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2024, second reading, resumption of debate.
Timothy Toroitich, his balance of 6 minutes forfeited. Wilberforce Oundo, had you spoken to Cooperatives Bill?
I had.
You had?
Yes, yes.
Parashina Sakimba? John Kawanjiku? John Mutunga? Take the floor on the Cooperatives Bill.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the Cooperative Bill 2024. Honourable Speaker, I wish to thank the committee for the good job done, and very well done. Honourable Speaker, I may not be a member of this committee, but cooperatives are dear to my life as a member of Parliament, and even as a member of the Agriculture Committee. Honourable Speaker, most of the cooperatives in this country are in agriculture, and therefore it is really a bill that we've been looking forward to. This bill comes out to deal the mischief in the management of cooperatives and in the ordering the steps that needs to be taken to have better cooperatives in this country. Cooperatives in this country are many and extensively varied. To resolve the existential problems in cooperatives, Honourable Speaker, the bill speaks to a number of issues, some of which I wish to highlight by way of pointing out some of the issues that the committee needs probably to look at before we come to the third reading of this bill. Honourable Speaker, cooperatives are in many sectors. Cooperatives also were initially functioning very well in this country. They were doing extremely well. But later on, Honourable Speaker, something happened to the cooperative movement, and some of the cooperatives collapsed, especially in the agricultural sector. There has been some terrible mismanagement in some cases, and this legislation therefore comes in to help us manage the cooperatives better. I remember, Honourable Speaker, in 2014, the Cooperative Act that came tackled quite a number of major issues that used to be impeding the performance of cooperatives then. This particular legislative proposal comes in to specifically polish the sector's expectations. The efforts are therefore very well rounded in this particular respect. Honourable Speaker, I will be very specific on some of the clauses within the bill so that I may be of some assistance to the committee. Honourable Speaker, if we look at the objects of this particular bill, the clause number 3, which has the objects, there are a few issues I would like to point out. Number 3 itself, that the object of this act is to provide for a legal framework that promotes a sustainable and competitive cooperative sector for socio-economic development in a devolved system of governance. Socio-economic development in this country will happen if we are able to harness the little that we have. And the little that we have will basically be brained around the factors of production. One of the key factors of production in this country is land, and most of that, what happens to the land, basically becomes the building blocks for the foundation that we need to develop this particular economy. Honourable Speaker, if we have sustainable cooperatives, it therefore means that we are able to develop our people. What happens in an economy, what grows an economy, is to make as many people useful as possible. The more of useful people in terms of contributing to the economic well-being of our country we have, the better we are as a country, and therefore, the better we will be even in the future. If I look at part 2 of, clause 3, subclause 2, which basically starts without prejudice and goes on, specifically part B, which has specified one of the objects as the uniform norms and standards in the registration, regulation, supervision, and management of the cooperatives. We are saying there should be no selective treatment when it comes to cooperatives. There should be no sacred cows. So-called cooperatives should be uniformly treated in this particular country. Honourable Speaker, there are some, if you look at subclause 2D, in terms of the object 2D, which talks about the areas of concurrence, jurisdiction in promotion, registration, regulation, and supervision of cooperatives have been highlighted and picked. These cross-references makes it important to anchor this particular act in the existing legislation so that the cross-referencing is enabled. And therefore, it becomes a better law as probably, that we had before. Honourable Speaker, I also underlook at clause 4, especially where we are talking about the cooperative principles. And it is violation of these principles which led to the collapse of the cooperatives. The principle of voluntary and open membership. When members are put into a cooperative and they do not agree, there is no homogeneity of the membership. There is no tying, glue for the members, then we have a problem. Democratic, member control. Democracy lacks in quite a number of cooperatives. We have some levels of dictatorship, and this makes it impossible for cooperatives to run properly. When you look at the economic participation by the members, decisions made sometimes in some of the cooperatives led to misuse of resources for the former cooperatives, and therefore the cooperatives, suffered. This needs to be looked into very carefully so that democracy persists and economic participation of the members is honored in a way that it will help the cooperatives to grow. So the cooperative principle is key in terms of serving how we move forward in dealing with these cooperatives. Honourable Speaker, looking at the establishment, Honourable Speaker, protect me from the majority whip who seems to be shouting. I don't know what he's trying to say. If he has any contribution, he should do it on in an orderly manner so that we can listen to him. Honourable Speaker, I want to pick out 2 key positions. The position of the Commissioner of Cooperatives at the national level, and the position of the Commissioner, of the Director of Cooperatives at the county level. These 2 positions are key, Honourable Speaker, and if the functions of these positions are not properly honored, then we cannot have survival, we cannot have progressive cooperatives in this country. Honourable Speaker, these are 2 positions that need to be vetted by this House so that people can be put to task to explain to the Kenyans the kind of honoring of issues and how they structure their business in terms of developing the cooperatives in this country. Honourable Speaker, when you look at there is a clause, clause 14, 2B. Honourable Speaker, the Director of Cooperatives at the county level is given a function of carrying out inspections into the affairs of the cooperatives in the county. Honourable Speaker, let me pause to discuss this particular issue. And this is one of the issues that could have led to the collapse of cooperatives. Honourable Speaker, when somebody is given the mandate or the power to inspect cooperatives, and that goes further to give them the leeway to take decisions, and especially decisions these are decisions that lead to the development of those cooperatives. And such a person can revert or reverse such a decision. and decisions by the leadership of the cooperatives. This is one of the problems that led to the collapse of the cooperatives, because members of our cooperatives have developed their own strategy, they design their own way of doing business, and they make decisions. Once their decision is affected or changed by an individual who does not even belong to the cooperatives, then it makes the cooperative membership uncomfortable, and therefore it is possible that these cooperatives may not move on as probably expected. Honourable Speaker, I would like to also mention clause number 14. No, that is 14. Clause number 19. Clause number 19. When you look at clause number 19, we have the structure of different cooperatives. The primary cooperatives, the secondary cooperatives, the cooperative federations, and the apex. The fact that we have this tiered arrangement of cooperatives should completely link it. I mean, the ordering should not be be associated with the power to manage the issues of the cooperatives under. In other words, secondary cooperatives should not lord over primary cooperatives. The apex cooperative as union should not lord over the others which are below it. And therefore, it is important for us to take caution on that particular issue. Honourable Speaker, clause 25E, which speaks to the fact that one of the roles of the apex cooperative is to provide mechanism and framework for alternative dispute resolution for the cooperatives. I would like to suggest that, Honourable Speaker, by way of amendment, and probably the committee has looked at this particular issue, dispute resolution should not be in an institution. We should set an embedded body to deal with disputes within the cooperatives so that we do not bring in mischief that probably would lead to problems.
Just give him 1 minute to finish his sentence.
Honourable Speaker, the very last one is clause 61. Clause 61 is long and basically talks about the delegation system and the representation. When it comes to sending delegates, Honourable Speaker, we should have the cooperative itself, who is a primary cooperative, being given this opportunity to, in a specific, we should specify how delegates are going to be picked and the power of the delegate as picked. Because when delegates represent an institution in a meeting that is making decisions, they should have the power of the institution, and that particular provision does not seem to say exactly as I've said. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
The Honourable Meli, member for Tinderet. Honourable Kawanjiku, you gave up? Because you had been next.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to support this bill. This bill, Madam Speaker, is a very, very important bill for our country, more importantly for the socio-economic development of our nation. Cooperative movement in this country, Madam Speaker, was a very powerful movement in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And its contribution, to the economy cannot be gainsaid. On that particular issue, Madam Speaker, I just want to say that this bill addresses some of the ills that has affected the cooperative sector for long. In my constituency, Madam Speaker, and my county, the cooperative movement is so huge, especially in the coffee sector, the sugar sector, and even in the milk industry. More importantly, it is in the cooperatives or the cooperators themselves who are able, and the parents and the cooperators of the yesteryears were even able to actually come together and be able to buy farm machinery. Madam Speaker, let me go straight away to the various parts of the bill. That this bill seeks to actually re-establish the cooperative movement in this country. Of the Commissioner for Cooperative Development and at the national level, and the Office of the Director of Cooperatives at the county level. It goes on to actually explain what these two offices will do so as to promote the cooperative movement. Mr. Speaker, this is very important because it has also goes further to show the various structures or levels of cooperatives. In this country, we have the primary cooperatives, which are actually the small cooperatives in the rural sector. We have the secondary cooperative societies, the Federation of Cooperatives, and I want to say this. We also have the apex cooperatives, and even those which come together and are even engaged in activities that promote the socio-economic development. I want to say one thing, especially on coffee and even the tea sector. Through the well-managed cooperative sector, farmers have been able to even pay fees for their children. They have been even able to pay medical fees, medical bills. They can even further move on and even engage in savings and credit, even those in housing sector. One of the things that this bill tries to address is the issue of registration of cooperatives. That is in part 5. Part 4, which deals with the procedures for registration, amendment of bylaws, and protection of cooperatives and SACCO identity. Madam Speaker, one of the things that is affecting cooperators, and more importantly, even in the SACCO, is the issue of registration, bylaws, and by extension, how the cooperators are going to be protected against scrupulous individuals. The bylaws that have been established in this particular bill are very explicit on the membership, they are very explicit on the registration, and more importantly, on how to guard the sector out of bad practices. Part 4 of the bill, Madam Speaker, provides for the rights and liabilities of members. The provision also includes the qualification for membership, share capital, and transfer of shares. We have a number of cooperative societies in this country that have lost or have actually collapsed due to transfer of shares fraudulently by the leadership of SACCOs. They have also collapsed because the membership is not very clear, because the register of cooperators, because I participate because I'm a member of the cooperative movement. The register of cooperators is not also very clear. In this case, the individuals who are involved in this, especially the leaders of the society, when a SACCO has been registered, the membership has to be kept in a very good register. It has to be kept by the Commissioner of Cooperatives, and the shares of that particular cooperatives cannot be changed anyhow, which has actually led to some members losing what they have because of that particular lack of clause. Madam Speaker, in part 6 of the bill, part 6 of the bill provides for the duties of cooperatives, which include the responsibility to maintain actual physical location. Madam Speaker, sometimes we have what we call briefcase cooperatives. They do not have offices, physical addresses. Madam Speaker, there is a lot of importance on a physical address. At times, many people take it for granted why we need a physical office. It is for the members to know and to be able to fix the kind of place and time they can meet regularly. Instances where briefcase cooperatives have been established, members have been swindled. In this particular case, Madam Speaker, it also gives it also provides actual physical location, copies of the act and the bylaws, preparation of the budget and books of accounts. All these particular are very important. It is not, a cooperative cannot be run by word of mouth. All the audited accounts, they shall be provided for to the members. And this bill is actually very important because as the members sit, as the members invest, they should know that all those verifiable documents, like the books of accounts, all what the SACCO is doing, actually in that particular place. On the other issue, Madam Speaker, protect me from the majority whip, who is not interested in the cooperative movement, it looks like. Because you moved it, but you allow us to really tell the public the importance of this. You have a very good document, majority whip, which we need to tell the public why they need to support it. Madam Speaker, on part Part 8 of the bill provides for the procedures for the amalgamation and division in cooperatives, including primary and secondary cooperatives, AMOSO resolutions, notification, and creditors' distributions of assets and liabilities, and the role of the Commissioner of Cooperatives. This is an aspect where, at times, cooperatives do merge. And I want to say this as a member and a leader in a cooperative movement. Where some small cooperatives merge because of their economies of scale. We've seen a number of smaller cooperatives, actually splinter cooperatives, getting out of the big ones. We want to advise the crop-based cooperatives, the housing-based cooperatives, and even the salaried, or what we call the SACCOs-based cooperatives. It is good for them to really merge. And when they merge, they should know that their rights, their privileges, and even what they are owed are always protected because of this particular part of the bill. With those many remarks, Madam Speaker, I want to say that this bill is very important, very vital, importantly, for the development of the cooperative sector. I want to say that counties like agriculture cooperatives is very, very vital in the devolution movement. And the creation of the what we call the Cooperative Technical Forum Committee, which is Government Relations Committee, will enable the national government and the county government to relate well, especially in improving cooperative movement in this country. I support this particular bill, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Likoni, Honourable Mishimboko.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I stand to support this bill by Honourable Osoro. Honourable Speaker, this bill talks about cooperative movement in our country, and more so in particular, the Saving and Credit Cooperative Organization, what we call SACCO. Madam Speaker, this cooperative, they are very instrumental in terms of pooling capitals or other resources, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, they also facilitate job creation, they also facilitate economic growth and social development, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm very much impressed by this bill because it talks about 4-tier cooperative structure. The first structure is the primary cooperative, where members can engage directly. The second one, it talks about secondary cooperative, where there is what we call mutual support within the members. There is what also we call cooperative federation, where it talks about the network of the cooperatives. And we have what we call apex cooperatives, which is the highest level, which takes all the cooperatives together. Madam Speaker, having these 4 tiers, it means the governance and accountability is going to be very clear. And that is why we are going to avoid so many wrangles and to ensure that members benefit as members of the cooperative. Madam Speaker, if I look on clause 11.1, which I quote, it states, there is established in each county the office of the county director of cooperatives. Madam Speaker, this means there will be a new breath of life for our local economies. It means the administrative functions will go closer to the members at the grassroots level. Because, Madam Speaker, when you are talking about devolution, devolution has to go in so many aspects. And that is why having that director at the grassroots level, or rather at the county level, it means even more bureaucracies which are at the national level are going to be avoided. Madam Speaker, if I also look on this bill, clause 62(5)(a), and I want to quote, which says, in constituting its board of directors, a cooperative shall ensure that not more than 2/3 of the directors are of the same gender. Madam Speaker, we have been talking every day that this law has to be implemented. And you know, Madam Speaker, in any organization which is well inclusive, all inclusive, that means we have women, we have men, we have the vulnerable groups, we have the marginalized groups, we have those who even maybe the economy is very low, but they are also being included in this organization. Madam Speaker, I think we'll be assisting all Kenyans, and that is why I want to support this. Madam Speaker, you can also remember there have been many fraud, and we need to put some mechanism to ensure Kenyans are being protected. And I've seen in this bill, in clause 41, clause 43, and clause 44, which talks about how to protect members from fraudulent schemes. We have been having so many schemes in this country. And these people, they come, they entice us, they tell us so many good things, that we are going to be rich at a go or what, and so many things. But because of this bill, we are going to have some protection, and that is why I support it. My last will be clause 73(1). We stipulate that if an employee has paid the employer the deduction for the SACCO, and the employer does not pay that deduction to the relevant SACCO, then he's going to be liable to pay that deduction, and also if there is any penalty or any interest, he's going to pay that. Honorable Speaker, I've been told that there is no time, we have to go to the Committee of All
who manage the largest milk cooperative society in Kenya and largely in East Africa. Madam Speaker, if there is anything that has made most of the producer activities in agriculture retrogress, is the mismanagement of producer cooperatives and the death of the sector in that matter. Madam Speaker, there are many cooperatives that owned even many buildings in Nairobi after having made profits in the past. When I was growing up, farmers from Murang'a owned the whole of Kirinyaga Road. Farmers from Kiambu were lending other countries money. I remember the Kiambu municipality used to lend Tanzania money that came from producer cooperatives. But something happened along the way, Madam Speaker. People who retired from civil servants, people who were fired for misconduct in government, went down to those producer cooperatives and bribed their way into the management of cooperative societies. And they laundered and stole the money that were meant to grow the cooperative societies and put those cooperative societies to death. As we speak, Madam Speaker, we had a very large cooperative society that owned Imenti House, for example, and many other houses you see down at River Road, near Kikorok Road. And those cooperative societies today, Madam Speaker, they are indebted. They are supposed to be selling off those assets to cover running costs. I am very excited, Madam Speaker, that finally this bill is bringing back the vibrant spirit of cooperative, the successes that we read in our history. Madam Speaker, I am particularly very happy with Part 10. The power to invest must be accounted for by the cooperative commissioners. Madam Speaker, as I sit down, I am happy that Part 11 of this bill has given out a very good way of how cooperative societies are going to amalgamate. In the past, Mr. Speaker, we have had cooperatives deciding on how they are going to divide the cooperative and bring up another fresh cooperative without the blessings of the majority of the owners and shareholders of cooperatives. I am happy that finally the spirit of cooperative is going to come back. We need to give our farmers the benefit that it is time for them to go back to their farms, produce as much, because there is a new law that is going to protect their sweat and their energy. I am supporting this bill. I can't wait to see it pass. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Wamushomba. Now let's go to the next order. Sorry, I forgot. Where is the mover? Mover, you may proceed.
Okay. Honorable Speaker.
Unless you give her your minute.
Yeah, with your indulgence, Honorable Speaker, let me allow the Honorable Sabina to, Honorable Sabina.
No,
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I want to...
No. Honorable, I've only allowed Honorable Sabina to take some of your time. Then, yes, and then you also do it very briefly, and then we can
Madam
proceed
Speaker,
to the next order.
Thank you very much, and I want to really thank the mover of this bill. Madam Speaker, I came running because I needed to speak and say I support this bill 100%. originated originally from Murang'a, as Honorable Mushomba has mentioned. By the time cooperative society in Murang'a County, back then in the 60s and 70s, could lend money to the national government. So, Madam Speaker, I am so happy that we are going to manage these cooperatives. I stand here to honor one man, the late Moshiri, who was a cooperative officer, who actually became the president of cooperatives in the entire Africa, and he was from Murang'a County, specifically Maragua constituency, specifically Kamahoha village. So, Madam Speaker, as I support, there is only one element, maybe I don't know where the honorable member can add into this bill. We had cooperatives university. Then it was cooperatives college, which strictly trained students on management of cooperatives. And that's why we are having many loopholes, because we turned all our universities and we diverged from what we were training before. So the move of the bill, as you move, let's see how we can be able to incorporate the training of cooperators so that even the young people can join cooperatives and help their elderly parents in management. I really thank you even for donation of that 1 minute. And
Okay, Mover, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want first to take this opportunity to thank all the honorable members that have contributed to this bill. And Honorable Speaker, to also appreciate the immense support that the honorable members have accorded to this bill, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the unison way that they did not really consider the devolved units, and that is did not really consider the devolved units. And that is why it's very important that we harmonize this. That's why it's very important that we harmonize this between the counties and the Honorable Speaker, forming cooperatives or things that they imagine would be cooperatives, and tell people we want to buy land, we want to buy property. They would do it Kenyans, and then they con them in, while carrying the Bible. Billions and billions of money, Honorable Speaker. And then I don't know where their words of, you'll go to heaven without anything. I don't know whether themselves, as men of cloth, will be going to heaven carrying those billions that they've stolen from people in the name of cooperatives, Honorable Speaker. So this bill seeks to resolve of the members of the public, Honorable Speaker. And finally, Honorable Speaker, the involvement of the public in this bill was very vital, because the committee went, and even the involvement of the secretariat, our secretariat that went back to the villages to listen to the common mwananchi, Honorable Speaker, to listen to them. You will see the burning desire the common man has, the burning desire the Kenyans have in having their investment put in safe places, the investment packaged in good places where they can put their trust in. Because nowadays, Honorable Speaker, it becomes very difficult to understand, to differentiate between the genuine places for investment and the fake ones. And from the public participation, Honorable Speaker, that was conducted, what came out clearly is that Kenyans want to be sure. Kenyans want to be sure that indeed the cooperatives law has been clearly streamlined to make sure that their money, Honorable Speaker, is safe and secure, Honorable Speaker. And the bill, as drafted, Honorable Speaker, has really been simplified for any person to understand in a very basic language, very, very basic, from the level of dividing the tires, primary tire, secondary tire, tertiary tire, just to make Kenyans understand that it's a very basic, it's a law that incorporates all their demands, but with very basic terms of reference or language that is easily understandable, Honorable Speaker. So I really want to appreciate the members for supporting this bill, which is very crucial for a sustainable, competitive cooperative sector, Honorable Speaker. So by passing this legislation, Honorable Speaker, this floor, Honorable Speaker, will support, this House, Honorable Speaker, will support a modern cooperative sector that upholds cooperative principles, strengthens economic inclusion, and fosters unity across Kenya's counties. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to reply. Thank you.
Thank you. We shall put the question at a later date. Now we can move to the next order.
Opportunity to the Honorable Osoro opportunity to the Honorable Osoro to put on record the reorganization.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I seek your indulgence and the indulgence of this House to reorganize this order number 9, that we start from Roman 2, the Technopolis Bill, National Assembly Bill number 6 of 2024, and then finish with the Coffee Bill, Honorable Speaker. So we just swap 2 to 1 and 1 gets to 2, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Majority Whip. Honorable members, we are in the committee of the whole House, and we are starting with the Technopolis Bill, National Assembly Bill number 6 of 2024.
Clauses 3 and 4.
I propose the question that clause 3 and 4 be part of the bill. Would there be no amendment? I now put the question that clause 3 and 4 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I put the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Chairman?
Call that again. The leader of the whip had distracted me. Madam Chair, kindly call that again.
Clause 5, Chairman.
Madam Chair, I wish to move that clause 5 be amended as it's appearing on the order paper. And the justification for it is that this amendment now will be aligning with the objective of the bill to position a Technopolis as a premier destination for the technology-driven business, research institutions, and innovation ecosystems, and support development of Kenya's knowledge-based economy. And further, the other terms have been amended to ensure that the technical definitions like high technology and Technopolis is to ensure that the technical definitions are closely aligned with the common usage of the ICT sector and the best practices, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I now propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Honorable Wilberforce Oundo, member for Funyula? No interest in that. I now put the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 5 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I propose the question that
agree, we just buttress it and make it to a process to be more competitive, so that you see, the cabinet said that does not just speak anybody feels like, but there must be a competitive process. This is ICT, and it will be less costly because you can use the website, you can do what members apply. So to be a semblance of a competitive recruitment process for the members where the cabinet secretary is allowed to appoint in the board of directors. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
I propose the question that clause 6 be amended, clause 7 be amended as proposed by the Honorable.
Honorable Chair, I have additional amendments that I would want to do to clause 7, and it is as they appear on the order paper. And the justification is because this is an emerging technologies space.
Honorable Chair, we will first of all exhaust the amendment by the Honorable Ojambo Oundo. We would like to have your views on the amendment. Do you agree? Are you in support?
Madam Chair, we are in support with the amendments presented by Dr. Oundo. Kindly.
The Honorable Mishimboko, Commissioner.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I also want to support what Honorable Oundo has made in terms of amendment, because apart from being competitive, it will also ensure accountability and transparency. I support.
Opportunity to the chair. Honorable KJ, opportunity to the chair. Honorable KJ.
Madam Chair, I want to propose that clause 7 be amended as is appearing on the order paper. And the justification for this, Madam Chair, is that we all understand that Technopolises in themselves are going to be superintending over emerging technologies. And as such, a requirement for such extensive work experience in leadership and management might block out very good young and youthful talent. The amendment further seeks to provide certainty on the need for diversity on the composition of board members. Madam Chair, I move.
Thank you. I now propose the question that be amended as proposed by the Honorable Chairman, the Honorable KJ. Yes, the Honorable Oundo.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I truly want to lend my support to the amendments because this is a realm of the young people. We, the old hog, should remain analog and mind our business in analog. Further, Honorable Speaker, when you look at the new number 6 and 7, it really now takes care of all spheres of this society. I support, Chair.
Thank you. I now put the question that clause 7 be further amended as proposed by the Honorable KJ. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is have it. I now put the question that clause 7 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I propose the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. Chair.
Madam Chair, it is my proposal that we amend clause 8 as is appearing on the order paper. And the justification for this, Madam Chair, is that this bill, as proposed, had omitted to provide for the criteria for the vacation from office of the chairperson of the board, and the amendment seeks to provide a remedy for the same. Madam Chair, I move.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Mishi, is your interest in? I propose the question that clause 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 be part of the bill. There be now amendment. I now put the question that clauses 9, 13, 14, 15, 16 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 17.
I propose the question that clause 17 be part of the bill. Chairman.
Madam Chair, I propose that this clause 17 be amended the way it appears on the order paper. And the justification for this, Madam Chair, is that the bill is amended to provide an additional feature of Technopolises to incorporate to incorporate not just national, but also global challenges that may appear. And I want to give a little credit to the member, Farah, who is also sitting in the Presidium, for noting that Technopolises exist as Technopolis, if it is one, and Technopoli and Technopolises in majority. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Honorable Farah Maalim. Honorable Maalim. Honorable Maalim.
I concur and I support the chair in this amendment. Thank you.
By the chair. Honorable Oundo.
Chair, I support, the jargons being used are so high sounding, they are scary. Please come back down to where we are, but I support.
I put the question. I now put the question that clause 17 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 17 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 18, 19, 20, 21, 20.
So that the proposed subclause is provided for to enhance the substantive and procedure of due process that seeks to require the authority to notify an applicant of any refusal to issue a permit. Madam Chair, I move.
Thank you, Chair. I propose the question that clause 24 be amended as proposed by the chairman. I now put the question that clause 24 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 24 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33.
I propose the question that clause 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33 be part of the bill. There be no amendments. I now put the question that clauses 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 34.
I propose the question that clause 34 be part of the bill. Chair. Honorable KJ.
Madam Chair, I move that clause 34 be amended as is appearing on the order paper. And Madam Chair, the undue flexibility that had been given earlier to the authority may be subject to abuse because paragraph E, as had been drafted in the bill, was giving authority the power to set out such further information as the authority may consider necessary. And we thought this could be subject to abuse. So we are amending it as appearing on the order paper, Madam Chair. I move.
Thank you, Chair. I propose the question that clause 34 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I now put the question that clause 34 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 34 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 35.
I propose the question that clause 35 be part of the bill. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And my proposal is that clause 35 be amended as is appearing on the order paper. Madam Chair, I'm just waiting for a clearance. I'm depending on my tab here, so let me use this one. Madam Chair, it is my proposal that we amend clause 35 as is appearing on the order paper. And why we are doing this, Madam Chair, is because the review and appeal clause provides an internal dispute resolution mechanism of the first instance before the aggrieved parties elect to go to the courts of law. Madam Chair.
You may proceed.
Madam Chair, allow me to take this again.
You may proceed.
With a fine for an internal mechanism of dispute resolution that will in itself take care of the timelines, Dr. Undo. So kindly let's delete 35 and replace it with the amendment as appears on the order paper.
Now I now have it.
Clause 38.
I propose the question that clause 38 be part of the bill. Chairman.
Madam Chair, that clause 38 be amended as it is appearing on the order paper. This proposed amendment provides a useful sanction in restricting an activity as an enforcement measure for violation which may have been inadvertently omitted in the bill. Madam Chair, I do move.
Thank you, Chair. I propose the question that clause 38 as have that opinion say aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 38 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary
have been actually provided for. So actually, Madam Speaker, I think the chair and the committee are right, and therefore we need to delete that clause. Thank you.
Yes. So yes, but after the Honorable Milio Thiambo. You will be the last, Honorable Chairman.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think if the committee has actually gone through and made provision for every single offense, then it is okay if you don't give an umbrella one. But that therefore means that you have actually gone through and you are sure that there is no offense that is provided, because you cannot also provide for an offense that is not in the bill. So I think I would support the chair on this.
Thank you. The Honorable Farah Maalim.
Chair, I also want to support the chair in this. This is too far-reaching, too open to abuse, and it's not something that you can just do it in the manner we have done right now in a generality and say any person who commits an offense. And then basically, it can always be covered under the subsidiary law, which is going to be more exhaustive in my opinion.
Thank you very much. Chair, after all that support, do you still want to make a comment, or I go ahead and put the question?
Yes. Allow me so that we can carry the members along. It is actually for the reason that has been mentioned by the Honorable Zamzam and Honorable Mishimboko. You can see the general penalty was providing for a very steep penalty. And that what is unforeseeable could be something so trivial. And that is why, Madam Chair, if there was anything unforeseeable, I believe it can live in the subsidiary laws like the regulations, Madam Chair. I thank you and I move.
Thank you. I now put...
We clear in our own
Honorable
minds.
Maalim.
Yes, just so that we, because of the gravity of this kind of a matter and the consequences that are very, very severe, it's important that we give it as exhaustive engagement as possible. But already it says obstructs authority and says commits an offense shall be liable for. You've already prescribed. What do you call a penalty for that? And then you come in a very general one and says anybody who commits under this act. I think we should get away with it and just allow how the chairman has done the amendment on this one. We are going in a very dangerous direction.
Let's delete it.
Delete it.
I will go ahead and...
Delete the whole of segment.
Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 64 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Be deleted as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 65, 66, and 67.
I propose the question that clause 65, 66, and 67 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I now put the question that clause 65, 66, and 67 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clauses. New clause 21A.
I call upon the mover now to move second reading for this new clause.
Madam Chair, allow me, because this is a new clause, to read it in its entirety. I am proposing that the bill may be amended by inserting the following new clause immediately after clause 21. And this is a clause on the Museum of Science and Technology in a Technopolis. Madam Chair, it should now read as 21A. The authority shall establish and manage a museum. Madam Chair, kindly protect me or provide for...
Point of order, Chair.
On the matter of the new clause?
Yes, just procedural matter. Okay. It's not really necessary for him to read the entire bill, because if we did that, then, Honorable Chair, we'll never finish legislation process. We are capable of reading, just mentioned as prescribed in the order paper.
You will paraphrase. What is out of order, Honorable Minority Whip? Honorable Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you, Chair. For me, it's two issues. One which is procedural, that when it's moving, it should actually first just indicate that I move that it be read a second time. Before then he explains. But secondly, even though it's a bit preemptive, I think because you want to set up a museum, I think the House has spoken to this issue, because that makes it a money bill. And I don't know if we are allowed to do that at this stage. Chair, maybe you can advise us on that.
They have gone through the office of the Speaker and they have been brought to the Committee of the Whole House. At this point in time, I would like to allow the Chair to proceed.
Madam Chair, the amendment here is to bring in this. And Madam Chair, I do propose that the bill be amended by inserting the new clause immediately after clause 21 as it is appearing on the order paper, Madam Chair.
Okay. I now propose the question that new clause 21A be now read a second time. Any interest in this? Honorable Ondo? Honorable?
Chair, I sincerely and heartily support, even though Minority Whip has raised a constitutional issue that rests somewhere else, but I sincerely support. And as I support, Honorable Speaker, I remember I was taken to a tour of Houston Space Museum in Texas, somewhere in the US, and I was mesmerized, truly mesmerized. And I just hope, it took me to science, but I would really see the way it is said, Honorable Chair, is at the discretion of the authority. The authority may. Can it make, because again, in this House, I think we had a motion that called for the establishment of the Science Museum, which I think, if I'm not so sure it has been adopted or not, can we make it mandatory? Because may is discretionary, it might never happen or it might happen. I was just wondering, probably you had a good reason why you chose to use the word may instead of just establish.
Chairman, what is your comment on that?
Madam Chair, it is actually not may. And I know the Wakilis here can tell us the difference between may and shall. Shall obligates, and may is as what Professor is saying. And the proposal, and that's why I was reading it, Madam Chair, but the proposal is that the authority shall establish and manage a museum of science and technology in a technopolis. So it is shall.
We need to confirm whether that is the position.
Reads may, unfortunately.
I'm going to give a chance to the chair to consult 2 minutes.
Please, the other paper reads may.
Is actually shall. So I wish it would reflect on the order paper as it is on the substantive one. It is. Huh?
So then I will give you time for that to be corrected. 2 minutes.
Okay, let me.
You may proceed, Chairman.
Madam Chair, I thank you for the magnanimity. And thank you very much, members. And what I will do, Madam Chair, for us to be able to have a tidy process, allow me to move it as further amended so that it reads that the authority shall establish and manage a museum of science and technology in a technopolis. And in that way, it even covers what the Honorable Professor Undo is saying. Madam Chair, I propose to move as further amended.
Honorable Farah?
I want to concur with Honorable Millie Mabona. If it's definitely going to involve additional resources or resources for putting up that thing. And I think it's easy for anybody who is a busybody to contest that. And in any case, the shall itself on matters of developmental, which is a progressive thing, even if you put it shall, then determine when will that shall be. Is it immediately established, or 2 years down the line, or 3 years down the line? And I think, in my opinion, we have to amend it a bit further. If you want to retain the shall, then you have to say at the, you put certain appropriation, a certain appropriate. You must be conscious of the fact that those resources cannot be available instantaneously. And if you put it shall, so if you leave it to May, then of course it's there. You can put it in the programs and also in the development plan for this technopoly or polis. It is a money bill, but this is an additional.
Noted. I think you have made your point. Honorable members, I would like to appreciate that it takes a process for the bill to get where we are. And honorable members, I would like to take note of what the chair of the committee has said, and I'll go ahead and put the question. Honorable members, I put the question that clause 21 be amended as proposed be further amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is have it. I now propose the question that clause 21A be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is have it.
New clause 68.
I now call upon the chair to move the second reading.
Madam Chair, I move that clause 68 now appear as further amended. Madam Chair, I do move.
68, right?
Madam Chair,
the second reading.
Yes, I do move that clause 68 be amended as appear in the bill.
Be read a second time, Chair.
Madam Chair, I do move that clause 68 be read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 68 be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is have it. I now propose the question that new clause 68 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is have it.
Schedules, first and second schedule.
I propose the question that the first and the second schedule be the schedule of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is have it. I now put the question that first and second schedule be...
It's an offense, and then basically it can always be covered under the subsidiary law, which is going to be more exhaustive in my opinion.
Thank you very much. Chair, after all that support, do you still want to make a comment, or I go ahead and put the question?